at your release. Hi and hello, everybody. Welcome to the mic drop. We are back. Thank you for all your faxes, wondering about the show. I've received so many faxes. I've gone through so many reams of paper asking, where's the mic drop? What happened? Are you Max? Have you fallen out? No, we're back.
That's right. That's right, buddy. And we have a very, very special guest, a very popular movie pundit in this sphere that everyone is going to be unanimous applause for this special guest. So give a round of applause for Sean O'Rourke.
I am back.
Yes.
Hi and hello, Sean.
Thanks for having me on.
The resident gun hater on YouTube, from what I hear.
No, only if you talk to Donovan.
Oh, shout out to Donovan. Hopefully you get in here soon.
I'm sure he will. We'll look for him.
If you disagree with Sean, try to be nice in the chat. You could be a little spicy. He could take it. I think he could take it a little bit, but if you have questions for Sean, I do know Sean. I've also invited you on to confront you. Why do you want James Gunn's DC universe to fail? Why are you rooting for it to fail? Why do you want it to fail?
I mean, honestly, it's not that I don't want it to fail. Okay.
You just think
I just think it will.
Okay.
And I feel like I've got valid reasons as to why, but once again, we see in the news today, their Warner Brothers is having more problems with their Superman.
Why did you contact the family of Superman creator to get them to sue? Why did you go to those lengths? I know it was you, Sean. That's the reason we brought you on tonight. Why did you do this?
Is a law firm representing the family giving you a cut?
Yeah, I am. I'm going to get 5%. Across the board of all the IP.
Well, obviously we're joking, but hold on though. Even if you have criticisms of what James Gunn's doing and the quality of Superman, I don't think anyone wants it to fail like this. Like if the lawsuit succeeds, that people with different regions of the world can't see it. No one wants that to happen.
And I don't think it's going to get that far. I think they'll come to an agreement with the estate. This happens a lot. And it's always when it gets close to when the movie's going to come out, that's when they turn the screw. The law firms will start turning the screws and then they'll fix it. It's almost like, the original Wizard of Oz. If you read the book, there were no ruby slippers. They were glass slippers, or it's almost like Cinderella. And then in the movie Wicked, there is no ruby slippers, the movie Wicked, but also the play when he did that spin-off of that, there's no ruby slippers. So there are things in IPs that you can't do. And for whatever reason, Warner Brothers didn't have the release rights in certain countries for a new Superman, whatever the expiration came up. But, there are these vulture lawyers waiting in the wings to find something to pounce on. So,
and to your point, in the legal field, there's a common term amongst lawyers, deadline spur action, right? So that deadline could be a movie being released. It could be a trial date. It could be something. That's when settlements get done. That's when things get done.
Yeah.
Okay. I was just going to ask that, Voltaire. So when these things come up next to a release date, it's almost even if if the IP holder that's having issues with like a family that owns part of it, it's in the best interest of the studio just to settle it, just to get promotion back.
It's in the best interest of everybody.
Yeah.
You know, most things settle. It's always
Yeah.
it's usually in the best. That's why like the Gina Carano thing is confusing to me. There's no settlement benefit to her really at this point. So, but most people want to settle. These people want money. DC wants the movie out, and it's usually deadlines that make people start to be reasonable and come to numbers that they can agree on and live with. They have it seems like they have some kind of actionable claim though. So there's going to be some money.
It's very confusing to me because I thought copyright laws were only. I'm a layman on this. I thought they could only do stuff for here. Like I thought different regions of the world had different copyright laws, so they wouldn't necessarily need it. It's very confusing. Like they wouldn't need it to release in China or something because China has really weird copyright laws. But I guess it's because it's the origin of the productions in America that they have to do those laws for even China releases. Or I think the problems they're having is Canada, Australia, and it's parts of Europe. I don't know.
I don't know. I'll do a deep dive for next week to look at the legal issue. I haven't, to be honest with you. But yeah, each region has its own copyright laws. So maybe they've not secured them in these other regions. Presumably that's what's happening.
Oh, RJ is here. Hey, RJ, are you happy to see our special guest, Sean? Did you miss Sean?
Yes, I have. What's up, John?
You're not a Sean hater because he's really after James. He wants James Gunn to fail. He contacted the family. He brought on this lawsuit.
No, he's got his own opinions. That's perfectly fine.
Oh, okay, cool. This is unfortunate though, but both Sean and Voltaire think it's going to not be a non-issue by the time of release, though.
And
well, I mean,
whenever,
if you look back at the history, the estate also sued when Man of Steel was coming out.
Oh, they did. Okay.
Yes. Yeah. I mean,
do you have anything we could put in the private chat we could look at to see what was their claims then? Was it the same thing, worldwide release, or?
It was a little bit different. They were looking for. Let me look and see.
We should maybe look over the article here.
Well, the other interesting fact of it too is that you're gonna have, when is Superman gonna go? Like the character's gonna go into
July, right?
Domain soon.
And I think that's another reason why. That's another reason why James Gunn is throwing 50 characters in this one movie, because if you don't use them, you're gonna lose them.
Well, let's be honest, especially, and we're not getting political, especially this week, but this administration is going to be is likely to side with corporations, and corporations are actively looking at copyright to public domain laws. Or aren't there departments at Disney that look at how they can get rid of these laws that go into public domain?
Oh, absolutely.
That's why they consistently do reboot. That's one of the reasons why reboots and sequels are so prevalent. Is like, we still use this. It shouldn't go in the public domain.
Yeah, and I think Disney's doing everything they can behind the curtain, if you will, to fix whatever's going on with Mickey Mouse and get him back.
Yeah, and the Steamboat Willie version or whatever, and as other things go into, but I think it's highly likely. I don't think public domain laws are going to survive another 20 years. I think they're going to be. I think they're going to be actively litigated.
Well, you know what? And this is something I saw a little bit people talking about. I know people don't. Everyone's got their opinions on her, but I thought Grace actually made an interesting point about this. If you notice, with the new DC Studios logo, they use the classic Superman from Siegel and Schuster, and
that's
also
the logo.
You're kind of seeing the resurgence of the way that's Superman. So that's a way that they can kind of keep the copyright for that too, to where they're trying to get ahead of that a little bit.
Does that also cause problems with this specific lawsuit? They're like, you're using definitively our version. It's even your logo.
Well, I mean, the thing is, right? Like, this is going to sound weird, but I'm okay with the estate suing because, to be fair, yes, the original creators deserve to have gotten paid a lot more. I mean, get the bag, get the bag, get your money. They're going to settle this out of court. I mean, again, this is more so for attention and trying to make they want to be paid. And I get that. I get that. I mean, I think it's more so a publicity stunt to where it's going to get them in the headlines, and the studio's going to want to quietly just, pay him and move on.
Yeah. Let's look at the actual suit here, and then Sean and Voltaire get your opinions here, if anything else in this article. Let me see. Superman release could be blocked in several countries by a new lawsuit. The timing, too, was right before. Come on. Couldn't you wait until after the Puppy Bowl? Come on.
We're gonna get crypto in there, passing the football to the other dog.
I was watching. I'm not going to name the channel because it triggers people in the chat here, but I was watching a channel today, and I was just watching for entertainment value in their Extreme Snyder Bro channel. And they're like, "It's about the dog, bro. It's about the dog, bro." And Puppy Bowl. It was so hilarious them talking about crypto. And they're like, it's such a disgrace. What do we want a Superman movie, and the focus is going to be on crypto.
Oh, God.
And it's not even the right dog. That's what I heard. It's not even the right dog. It should be a lab.
I think what makes me cringe about the whole crypto thing. I don't want to.
You have an issue with that too?
I don't want to go down the rabbit hole.
No, go down that hole.
There was some cell phone footage.
Of
is it Mr. Fantastic? What's his name? Mr. Fantastic or Terrific?
Mr. Terrific.
Mr. Terrific. Mr. Terrific is in the street in Atlanta where they were shooting this segment, and he's got a box of milk bones in his hand.
Yeah.
And he's got one, and he's jumping in the air to feed the dog. And there's no dog there. He's acting with nothing. And I just went, oh. They're trying to, and then you hear what James Gunn said about crypto. Every time crypto shows up, it's like he's fumbling the ball. It's utter destruction or whatever the case may be. He's more like comic relief when he shows up, and he can't ever do anything exactly right. Like because he's a dog. So you got a scene with Mr. Terrific and a box of milk bones trying to get them to him as he's flying around. And I just went, oh, that could really play really badly if it makes the cut. Now, if they were just doing that in the street to throw people off, but cameras were rolling. I mean, there was background, everything going, and I was going, oh, he's trying to feed milk bones to a flying dog. And I was like,
there's a fine line between where it works and where it's cringy.
Yeah.
Now, people say James Gunn can walk that line and succeed. I don't know. That's like if you're talking about any other director, like Mr. Terrific has a box of milk bones that's out, but I think there's a chance James Gunn can make it work and be released on that. It'd be fun.
In his defense, he made the Russian cosmonaut dog work in Guardians of the Galaxy, so he can make this work as well. But for me, it just like. If Mr. Terrific is supposed to be this hard, I mean, you've seen all the comic book shots of him, and then you got him, and the guy who's playing him, let's be honest, he's a little skinny, and he's jumping up in the air with a box of milk bones in one hand and one in the other, and it just looks so bad. So I don't know. And then there's a shot of Superman like talking to a squirrel. I'm going. What are we watching here? What are we watching?
Well, there is that aspect. You're going to have DC comic fans of like that's in the comics.
It's in the comics. Yeah, the general audience is not the fanboys that read all the comics. They're not. They're just not.
But it was in the comics.
But you need the general audience to come.
Yeah.
Somebody asked
general
earlier,
audience loves dogs.
They do love dogs.
They didn't like the Super Friends cartoon. That didn't go over well.
James Gunn.
Yeah, but I think that also had like a
characters very
marketing
well.
issue, and that to me it just felt like with that movie specifically, I think that one just the art style is how do I put this? I love me some animation, but I think the art style of that movie was a little unappealing. I think too from a marketing perspective.
I don't think
they so heavily. I don't think they Rock.
Yeah, they had The Rock and who else was in that? Kevin Hart and a bunch of other people.
Kevin Hart, yeah.
I think they just didn't market that movie. They didn't have the money behind it because that was when they were still going through the transition, I think, from Warner Discovery. And I don't think they put money behind it to get it out there because I didn't even know it released. Like I knew I had seen some previews, but I had never, and honestly, like I've never watched it.
Mhm.
You know, I mean, that goes that.
Just as a reminder to the audience, we do have a hotline number. If you want to leave a question or a hot topic, please be respectful to our guest, Sean. You
Be respectful, but no holds barred.
You could throw him a little heat for sure, and we will be picking a winner soon. Since we have a guest, maybe I'll do next week. I'll pick the winner. But you can give us a voicemail. Let's see what this has to say here. James Gunn's movie could have its release in key countries impeded by a new lawsuit filed by the state of the Man of Steel creators. Superman is set to mark the true start of James Gunn's new DC universe. Let me see. The international box office is more important than domestic, honestly. Could be the key to the financial success or failure. But a new lawsuit claims Warner Brothers and DC lack the rights to release the film in multiple territories. Plaintiff Warren Perry, executor to the estate of the Superman co-creator Joseph Shuster, filed a lawsuit against Warner Bros. Discovery and its DC subsidiary in federal court in the Southern District of New York. Shuster and Superman co-creator Jerome Siegel assigned worldwide rights to the characters to DC Comics' predecessor, Detective Comics. However, the lawsuit notes that in countries following British law, copyright laws contain provisions that automatically terminate such assignments. That's what's interesting, is that they even admit in the lawsuit that they did assign the rights to them, but and again, they expired after so many years.
Yeah, and again, they're doing this. They're finding this legal loophole because
and
I put in the private chat.
Courts,
Back in so they sued in 2013 over the copyright in the United States. They lost that case. Warner Brothers got to keep the copyright for the character. But again, they're looking at this legal loophole for the countries that follow the British copyright law. So
wow. I never would have thought of that. Well, they're looking
and
at
they may not be as favorable. Yeah, other countries may not be as favorable as the US.
Yeah. Mm. Oh, this is the new one. Oh, sorry. Let me bring up the other article here. I want to see. Yeah, this is from 2013. So, yes, it's not. This is consistently coming up. This happened with Man of Steel 2. I wasn't sure if it did. I remember something about in the news, but I couldn't remember if it was Man of Steel or Superman Returns.
They just need to re-up everything and pay everybody what they need to make them whole, and then move on.
It doesn't seem like the family is willing to do I would assume that they're not willing to do a contract for forever. They don't want.
No, I mean they should do a global, in perpetuity. They should just do that.
Looks like Warner Brothers is finally free of the last copyright kryptonite plaguing its ownership of Superman. The Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals today handed the studio another legal win in its battle with the estates of Man of Steel co-creators Jerry Siegel and Joe Shuster. So I don't know if Siegel's in this one. It's just Shuster, from what unless I missed something in the article. And the court did it with some degree of humor. In this appeal, we address another chapter in the long-running saga in the ownership of copyrights in Superman, a story almost as old as Superman, the Man of Steel himself. So that's great. They had fun with it. So this is always going to happen. I think it's interesting that they do so many things with Superman, like they did this show. This didn't come up during the show. They only do this when they do a movie.
Well, it's maybe because television rights are different.
Well, again, they're trying to get publicity. Again, smart of them to do this the way they're doing it, because again, it's going to get attention.
Maybe that's why, because the release schedule for a movie is different than the TV show being in TV shows. Some of these CW shows were limited regions, whereas a movie is worldwide territories where they could use this loophole. Maybe that's why it's only when the movies come out, because you're going to release it there. Well, yeah.
Yeah, and a lot of the TV shows now are being dumped on streaming, streaming doesn't have to do with anything over, like, you know what I mean? Like you can dump something on a streaming platform and it's not considered television.
It's a different thing.
It's considered
contracts that were written all those years ago may not be including those factors.
But I think they need Canada, they need Australia, they need to get it straight, because like figure drawing in the comment section there. I think the movie's going to do about 750 million, and I think 500 million will come from overseas. And if they that's my high end is 750. I think it actually might make a little bit lower than that, but we'll see.
Okay. That doesn't sound like a gun hater suggesting it's going to make 750 million. That's pretty reasonable.
No, I think it's right around where the Batman was. I think that did 790 or something.
750 to a billion is where I'm at. It really depends on the quality. Depends on the quality for me. I didn't have any concerns until the 30-second promo, but then some people tell me that was nothing. It was a nothing burger. No, Sean.
Yeah.
Are you flying now, Sean?
Yes, I was flying.
Yeah. Well, I will say, right, I do think this has not been a great PR week for the movie, even if someone's excited for it. Just because,
or Superman in general.
You do have some people who have concerns because of the way his face looked in that one NFL championship game spot. But on the flip side, if they drop something really cool Super Bowl Sunday for the Puppy Bowl, if it's a clip that's like really good, it looks like it's a lot of fun, right? Then you kind of win people back over. So it really depends on what they release next Sunday. You know, right. I feel like, you know.
But I'll say this, okay? There's the Super Bowl halftime show. The Puppy Bowl happens during the Super Bowl halftime show, okay? Mm-hmm. But then there's also that lingerie football thing that they do every year where the girls are in the big. All right,
so important cultural event.
So you've got eyeballs trying to be spread out over three things. So there'll be one TV in the house where the parents tell the kids, you don't care about Kendrick Lamar, go watch the Puppy Bowl, okay? But that's not going to be everyone watching.
I have good news, Sean. They actually moved the Puppy Bowl to before the Super Bowl.
So no one's going to see it.
It's going to be in the morning. So I looked it up. It's going to air at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 11 a.m. Pacific. That's when no
one's going to care.
So are they not having a commercial during the Super Bowl? Is that confirmed?
Yeah.
They've already said.
Are you kidding me with the Taylor Swift audience that chose not to put a commercial on?
But didn't you see a couple of weeks ago they fired all their marketing people?
That was weird. Yeah.
Listen, I've been saying this. After the first quarter of this year, going into the summer, they might, if Superman doesn't perform well, they're gonna break that whole thing apart, Max, and they're gonna start selling IP and doing stuff. They're cooked. Their market share, their stock is down. Warner Brothers Discovery is going to have to split up.
I will say this. I just thought of this topic because I was watching other streams today. I think nothing's impossible in Hollywood, and all the other IPs get to have their beloved characters and actors come back. Okay?
Oh my God.
No, I'm not. Listen.
No. I saw something amazing.
Okay. Well, I will say this. If James Gunn fails, and I don't think it will, but maybe it doesn't work. Maybe it doesn't succeed, and Warner Bros. Isn't happy with it, and Warner Bros. Really has issues. Now, do I think that they're going to go get someone else and pump a bunch of money into something else? No. I think they'll just do Batman for a while. But if you're saying, in one hand, they hire someone else and then they start over again, or in the other hand, they just license the Snyderverse to another someone else, and they complete it, even though I still think that's highly unlikely, I think that's more plausible than them to just get another person after the first guy, Hamada, Gunn, and then get another person, then start all over again. I do not think they're going to just start all over again and get someone fresh.
Well, and I've been saying this for a while too, and then I'll get to what I just found, which is amazing. I do think the fact that they've moved so quickly to get stuff into production, and they've really tried to push forward ahead of Superman coming out, that is them trying to build security for themselves a little bit, where it's like, hey,
they're in production,
movie, they're trying to give themselves some cushion, right? So it's like, hey, if this movie, let's say it makes like 500 million, okay, and that's fine, because again, you have stuff coming down the pipeline that you can reevaluate things, right? You can, but again, I think it's more important for this movie to start the process of healing the brand a little bit versus making all the money in the world. Now, they want it to make money. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying they don't want it to make money. I just think right now it's more important for them to make a really good movie that people like. So you start that process of healing the brand again.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, again, I'm not in the room with the Warner Brothers executives. So I'm not
I
sure
do
what
get
they
the
want
feeling
from
of rushing things, and not rushing where they're not ready, but he's really putting a lot of things in the production. So even if things are unstable at Warner Brothers, depending on what happens, they'll have active
yeah, and
development
you know
stuff
what?
to
I've
work
been
on.
saying this too, right? Like, let's say like this whole thing goes belly up, right? All I can ask for is just, hey, at least get me a good Superman movie. You know, it's just like,
Well, that's why I said the thing about, I know it's a bit not popular, especially with this audience, my audience, is that the Snyderverse licensing for a while. If you don't make it yourself, why not have other people pay you to make projects in your universe for a while at least? I don't think they would. I don't know if they would outright sell it, but
well, look, just keep in mind, Netflix paid $100 million for Friends to run for 5 years. And then the rights went back and it's on HBO Max or whatever Max, whatever it's being called now. I don't know, who cares. And so the money's out there. If they're going to spend $300 million on the Penguin, which they did, the budget was $300 million for that series. That's a limited series. And you start hearing these numbers when it comes to all this Star Wars shows, 180 million for this show, 100. I mean, they're putting a lot of money behind these things. And then I saw today in Deadline that Severance, which is a show that's on Apple Plus, it made a profit of 200 million. I don't know how they figure this out because it's all through subscription, like how they break apart how many minutes are streamed, who does it. I don't know if Apple runs commercials in other countries and they have tiers. I don't know what's going on with Apple Plus because I don't have it. But if they're looking to get a chunk of that, I could see them selling IP just like television is limited with Batman. Like Batman, you can only do so much with him on TV or this, or even look what happened with Sony giving Spider-Man for, I think they got 85 million to use him plus a percentage of the box office of all the movies that he's in. I mean, there's no reason why that can't be a thing. And if you've got Elseworlds, then why not just have other stuff in the Elseworlds that everyone can enjoy? But they have to get these budgets down. I mean, that's just, and I don't know what the streaming numbers were for Rebel Moon with Zack Snyder, but he's got a home there at Netflix where they keep using him, whether it's the zombie stuff or whatever. He could absolutely do his thing later if they want to. But I think it's dead. I think the Snyderverse is dead. I don't think it's ever coming back.
I think there's a chance, but I'm not holding out hope. I don't tweet it every day. It's just the talent doesn't seem interested anymore. There's disgruntled talent. Like it, and even beyond, they filmed a huge movie twice.
Well, I mean,
you heard that whole deal. That would have been horrible. You can't wait around for this to come back.
And then you heard what Ben Affleck had said, where he was like, there was originally, we've talked to Ben about maybe directing a movie. And then he comes out later and goes, I'll never direct anything for James Gunn. And that's because you don't like how the underhanded stuff was done. And this is where my beef with James Gunn is rooted in how they treated Henry Cavill. If they didn't want him back, they should have just told him. They should have cut out the stuff in Black Adam and cut out all the cameos.
People seem to blame Cavill and say he didn't have a legit contract. Still, it's a handshake. It's Hollywood. That's how Hollywood.
I don't blame Cavill. I blame DeLuca and Abdi.
Why do you blame them? They were trying to make it work, RJ. I blame Zaslav.
Well, no, it's Zaslav too, of course.
I think Zaslav
I blame the executives.
Zaslav comes from reality TV. And he's an idiot when it comes to like true storytelling. And I just don't think he gets it.
Warner Brothers has had a history of pitting talent against each other, like little Game of Thrones. Like in the what are you developing? What are you developing? Let's see who wins. Like when it was Zack Snyder and Jeff Johns. Jeff Johns wanted to take over, and that's why it was so volatile. And honestly, they probably sided
Well,
with
he
Jeff
was
Johns.
in charge. It was him and John
Yeah,
Berg. They
I
were
know,
given-
but he had to push Snyder out to get that way, you know.
that's
And
what they wanted, though. Honestly,
yeah,
it's
and
what the time
part of
wanted.
it was part of this situation too, and it's very telling that the one thing they didn't release from the Snyder cut was the driveway sequence with Green Lantern, because Jeff Johns and a certain comic pro have some say over Green Lantern, and that was a consistent talking point of I don't know. There's something interesting there too.
Yeah, I see Crazy Joe jumped in the
Yes.
chat there, and he says that all indications are looking that it's going to be $1 billion for
I
Superman.
hope you're right.
I hope he's right too, but I have to say I don't believe so, because it's sandwiched in between Jurassic Park, and Fantastic Four. It only has 3 weeks to make all its money before it starts slipping.
Well, I
And
will
that's
say
not
this,
enough
though.
time. That's not
we
enough
have
time.
seen, we had the Thanksgiving box office. I know it's a holiday, right? I mean, we've seen before, if Jurassic World is well received and people like it and people go see that, there is the thing where it's like a rising tide lifts all ships. People get in the mood to go to the movies. You kind of build that momentum for all those releases. But we'll see.
Oh.
We'll see.
Oh wow! Thank you, Voltaire. I'm going to bring that up here, and then I want to get my
really quick. We
Yeah.
have to talk about the Puppy Bowl.
Yes, I want to actually get Voltaire's expert opinion, because Voltaire is less biased than I do about Gunn. He's consistently he's on board with Gunn, but would
I'm
you
the
thought
least
of that?
biased person on this panel when it comes to this.
You're in James Gunn's DMs.
Well, somebody said that 12.6 million people in the comments section, 12.6 million people watched the Puppy Bowl last year. But what's the stat on the actual Super Bowl? Isn't it like,
Well, obviously,
isn't it like 75 million,
like
75 million
100
people
million.
worldwide?
Yeah, it's a fraction.
Yeah, I mean, that's a small amount.
I mean, to be honest,
but
I know it's
real
a
quick
joke,
though, real
but
quick though,
crypto could bring people in.
But here's the thing too. Last year they spent all that money for that Flash Super Bowl spot. Didn't help that movie.
Didn't help that movie.
So it doesn't mean that, like, just because you don't go to the Super Bowl doesn't mean like it's the end all be all.
You gotta look at the IP. So look at what did Guardians 3 make? Guardians 3 hit $1 billion.
It was like
right?
800 something.
Yeah, but it also had 30 other films that helped it out. Let's be honest.
Shout out to my co-host Voltaire, which I'm really still looking forward to seeing what your response is to the 30. You saw the 30-second trailer, Voltaire, with the derpy looking Superman.
Yeah, of course.
Okay, so Voltaire gifted a membership to himself. Good job, Voltaire.
I do that on purpose.
Mario Faith Warrior, Brian Master of None, Mint Salad. You gifted a membership to Mint Salad
again on purpose.
Austin Leanne was gifted a membership. So thank you so much. I really appreciate you supporting the channel like that, Voltaire. It really helps. So thank you so much. And Anthony Cheeseman had a question for you too, Voltaire. Are you excited for the lingerie bowl?
I've never actually watched the lingerie bowl.
I might do a watch party. I don't know. No, I don't. My wife wouldn't be happy about that. Okay, so yes, I didn't even know that was a thing on the. I knew about the Puppy Bowl.
Oh yeah, it's always a thing. They play flag football for like. And
I'm there for the football. I'm going to watch it for the football. You read magazines for the articles. I'm going to read it.
Watch it for the private chat. There's something very important here about the Puppy Bowl.
Okay.
The all-star lineup.
All right. Let me see what Rational says first. Man of Steel, $5 Rational gave. Thank you, Rational. And I might be on Xbox later. I'll see. Man of Steel came out at a time when there was no streaming and the movie theater atmosphere was different. It was also riding on the Nolan name.
That's true. That's absolutely true. Everything he said was true.
I don't personally, I get annoyed. It's people's opinions, but I get annoyed how much they dog Zach on the tone of Man of Steel. There's like revisionist history, not understanding the atmosphere at that time. The Dark Knight trilogy was so popular, and Superman Returns just underperformed, and they did not want to do another homage to Christopher Reeves. It's like they keep coming back and forth. Oh, we want a more grounded Superman, more realistic. Oh, we want the happy, super heroic, saves cats Superman. It keeps coming back and forth. But the environment, because I followed it a lot back then. And yes, Christopher Nolan picked Zack Snyder to do it because he didn't want to do a Superman version of the Dark Knight.
Well, there
But
was even some
that's what they were
talking about
asking for.
putting Superman in that world with Christian Bale.
Yeah.
And Christian Bale was like, "Nah, once we're done with R3, I don't want to do any of the other stuff." Which that was a good choice. But with Brandon Routh, you know, that movie had a $250 million budget, made $389 million at the box office, something like that. So it wasn't well received. But you know, it was really tugging on the John Williams theme and the underwear and all that kind of stuff. And people didn't want it. People didn't want it. And they were like, so Warner Brothers goes, well, we're going to go in the opposite direction. We're going to go do like with the dark stuff, you know, or whatever, if you want to call it, the dark stuff and tone. And then that played out and they're like, well, maybe we get, like you said, let's go back to the stuff. I'm so done hearing the humming in these trailers. I'm done with that. Like that was, and the guitar, you can't,
I love that part.
It's an Oscar-winning theme. You can't do it in guitar. And
I
hope
love that.
I hope when the movie comes out, they don't do that.
I hope they.
That's all.
I hope they thrash harder. Because
I
don't want just the John Williams homage. It's like so similar, but like what did you call? What is it? Is there no pleasing you, Sean? Because at first you're calling it elevator music, and then you're complaining about guitar. Because if they do it to homage, it's going to be like elevator music.
No, but also, you know, I like the John Williams score. I think it was something they should have carried into Man of Steel. If there's one thing you could have brought in, is the theme. Okay, you could change a lot of the other stuff, but that music had already won an Oscar. It was set, it was perfect, and they should have been running with that the whole time, which is why Joss Whedon put it in his Justice League, those beats, and Danny Elfman put his Batman score, because that's what people were used to, are those scores. Those are beats for Batman and Superman. And you could have carried that and changed it up a little bit too. But I mean, I don't know, like I don't, it's so hard to figure out what the audience wants, but I just think this is going to confuse the audience so much once it's out that's going to be the Achilles heel. Now, for people like us that live and breathe this,
are you going to see it?
Absolutely.
Okay. I was gonna pay for your ticket to go to get the
review. No. My best friend runs a 14-plex movie theater. I don't pay for any of my movies.
Oh.
And
wow.
and I will see an employee screening.
I need to visit you.
Probably. Yeah. No, I always, sometimes we'll just go up to the theater at night and pop in something.
Do you have any VHS tapes still?
I have VHS tapes, yeah.
Oh, okay. I like it still. All right.
Yeah.
All right. Let's get to this member chat, and then we're going to ask Voltaire about his thoughts on the 30-second promo. Are people being hyperbolic? Is it really that bad? Rational Skeptic, member for 14 months. Thank you, Rational. Thankfully, John Peters doesn't have the Superman rights anymore. Also, Bob Kane and Bill Finger's estate never sued Dark Knight Trilogy or the Batman. I think you're right there, but I'm sure they challenged it at some point. You know, I don't know. I would assume. Someone might be calling. Someone might be calling the hotline number.
Uh-oh. Is it Donovan? Who's calling the hotline? No. I'm just kidding.
I haven't seen Donovan yet.
He doesn't know I'm here. This is going to be great.
Yeah. Okay, so Voltaire, look at this. Now, is this just Snyder Bros making a mountain out of a molehill? It's obvious that this is a meme. Now it's gone past. It's yes. Thank you.
Again, I'm being 100% honest here. I've said this a million times.
Yeah.
I really don't see the problem.
It doesn't look great though.
But if other people don't like it, that's okay. I'm just saying, like, I don't think it's really such a big deal that people should be losing their minds about it. But again,
I'm not losing my mind, RJ.
So, but no, I'm not saying you are. I'm just saying, I look at that shot and it's I got excited. I mean, again, the barrel roll was amazing. I love the barrel roll.
I've been consistent with this, with saying when you compete, DC's main issue, besides having to fight for the rights for Superman, is you compete with your back catalog of versions of Superman and Batman. Marvel does not have to do that yet. They're starting to with a new Captain America.
Yeah, this will be a test.
Yeah, so when you have The Flight the first image of Superman was really important too. The first image of the new Superman, because you're instantly, people are like, it's not fair to compare. You haven't seen it. That's what people are naturally going to do, whether you like to say it or not. They're going to compare and contrast different Superman. So the first image where he's putting on his boots, I didn't like it. I mean,
I didn't either. It was such a Debbie Downer. Like, what? This is what we're getting? I mean, at least with Zack Snyder, and again, I'm not trying to toot his horn because I'm not a Snyder bro.
Stop tooting Snyder's horn, please.
But what I will say was that first picture they released where he was slammed up against the bank vault, that was pretty badass. No matter what you're just like, whoa, what is this? Look at him. Whoa, something threw him into it. Did he fly into it? I mean, it gave so many questions, right? But this one was like, what? He's putting his shoes on. He looks like he's battle damage. Oh, he's been doing this. Oh, he's not bothered. There's a giant eyeball.
Weird.
Like
I mean, I don't mind it like, as one image from the movie.
Weird.
But the first image is weird for the first.
They should have released that poster as the first image, the poster that we see in this image.
I don't like the poster either.
I like that poster.
I like his pose, but I don't like the blurry lines. But the other thing is, if you can think of anything more iconic and epic, is Superman in flight. It's like the most epic thing you could think of.
Well,
I'm not getting that. It's a letdown because it doesn't look epic. It looks kind of weird.
Well, let's ask Voltaire instead of Max rambling for 5 minutes.
Yeah, sorry. Go ahead, Voltaire.
No, it's okay. So yeah, I'm surprised they chose that to release.
Yeah,
but I don't think it moved the needle for normies one way or another.
Yeah, but it didn't look epic though.
Absolutely fair.
Do you think it looked epic? Like even people
that until you saw his face, it did look epic. When you saw the back of him going through the ice place and all that kind of thing, until you saw that face, it looked terrific.
Yeah.
Right.
No, the roll looked great.
Let me ask you this. If he did the barrel roll, which I thought the barrel roll looked good. Okay. Yeah. If he did a barrel roll and then when he came out the other side, just quickly, as fast as he could, flew off to the left or right into a blur, that would have given you the illusion that's Superman. He's doing his thing and he jets off, but it wouldn't have left you with that shot from Guardians of the Galaxy with the face. And that's where I feel like that was a bad call on Gunn. And I guess like in his mind, it's like, oh, it's 2 seconds. No one's going to care. This is the internet, buddy.
Well, I also think he likes to do things different. I do like the class. I mean, there's variations. I like the classic hand like this. That would help with that too. Power pose.
I didn't mind that his arms
he's going like
backwards.
this. His face is good. No, but when you do that, there's the only thing you can focus on is his derpy face.
Sure.
If you had his hand like that, you wouldn't notice it as much, and it looks more powerful. It just looks like he's going to go face first into a mountain the way that he's looking here.
Yeah. Well, and my thing is like everyone talks about his hair in this shot. That looks like a hair piece.
No, I said that. People got mad at me. I'm like, my main criticisms is
that looks like a hair piece.
Eyes look derpy. Superman's chin should be. This is a very built male. I know you did a video on this, Sean. I didn't watch it yet, but I saw the title.
I didn't talk about his chin.
No. About these actors' physicality, and even in Guardians, then you cover them up with costuming. Like, why do you get them to work out so hard for?
Yeah, absolutely.
For Corn Sweat and Adam Warlock in Guardians 3.
Yeah, Will Poulter. Yeah. I agree. I agree with you 100%. It's like they work these guys out. They put on 25 pounds of muscle. They get completely ripped. Then they put them in bulky costumes with plastic.
There's only so much natural whatever, can do. I mean, come on, Sean. I can tell by looking at you that you don't eat. You haven't had a piece of bread in months. And you don't have any sugar, right?
No. Well, what did I have for breakfast? I had 2 pieces of white toast and coffee for breakfast.
Okay, I'm surprised. You look very very slim. So I thought you were.
Oh, look at that! There you go. Good job, man. Good job.
That
wasn't an insult shot. It just looked like you didn't need any bread. But, okay.
No, but what I'm saying is like it's that one shot of David Cornsweat when he's in the gym and he's like squishing his arms together. That's bigger than it looked like bigger than Henry Cavill. But then you're like, and because he's 6'4" and he's put on that 25 pounds, and you're watching this guy work out, and you're like, dude, this guy's a beast. And then you put him in suit that doesn't really show. Now, I'm not saying they needed to go like what Snyder did with all of the, because, there was obvious stuff underneath Cavill's suit, but Cavill filled that suit out. I mean, let's be honest. And so it's just weird. Like that first image they released with the wrinkles on the shoulders where he's like, I don't know. Like it didn't make any sense to me from a marketing standpoint. And I don't know where, you got to remember, even Guardians of the Galaxy, like James Gunn didn't handle the marketing for that. That was Marvel. That was Marvel Studios. That was not, he wasn't in charge of that stuff. Like I'm sure he had input, but they knew how to market that movie. They knew how to, they did the posters. I'm sure he just signed off on stuff when it was finished. But it's like, because he's a studio head, he's thinking, this is my issue with James Gunn too, is he's making something for himself. He as a filmmaker, I get that you're doing that, but with this, just like whether it's Star Wars or whether it's anything, you have to consider the audience and how you can't please everybody, but you got to please a ton of people in order to make the money.
Where do you see this making it for himself? Just out of curiosity, like what exactly is making you feel
He's
that
just
way?
doing everything he wants.
What's different from that from his other films, Sean?
He's basically doing what every critic of him said it was going to do. He's doing it the Gunn way.
Yeah,
he's doing everything
what's
he wants.
bad about the Gunn way?
No, nothing. Not to me.
Well, the other thing is too, like from what at least we've seen thus far and what he's been saying is that this does feel like it's very different from what he's done before in terms of tone and the way he's handling the material. Where it's like,
well, we haven't seen enough to know if there's lots of jokey jokes. We haven't seen that yet. And if this is lighthearted with the dog coming to drag him back and save him, he's whistling. And it comes, and then when you see the footage behind the scenes with the dog biscuit box of milk bones, and Mr. Terrific's jumping up in the air with a milk bone in his arm. What I'm saying is we don't know if it's going to have a little bit of Suicide Squad in there, a little bit of Peacemaker in there. I mean, this is the guy. This is the guy
in the movie. It's a matter of I can see like it's like is there too much?
Is there too much? And there's going to be this balance that he'll do. Hopefully he'll nail it. I want him to nail it.
No, me too. I do want to bring up what you said, that you had criticisms about how he took over James Gunn. I will say this. This is consistent with the industry, is no one wants to work off someone else's canvas. They want a blank canvas. Matt Reeves also was brought in to talk about how he was going to help Ben Affleck with his Batman movie.
And then he went off and did his own thing.
No, he pitched his idea.
His own thing. Yeah.
And from what I've been told, is James Gunn was actually hired to do Man of Steel 2.
He absolutely was.
Yeah, I've only found that out recently.
The reason why it was originally titled Superman Legacy was because it was supposed to be Henry Cavill looking back at the destruction, all the stuff that has happened what's his legacy. He was it was turning him into the hopey Superman. And then,
so when James Gunn says that Cavill didn't fit my Superman when he was hired to write a sequel to Man of Steel, there's some questions that pop up there.
No, it's because, and I've said this before, there was an interview done by another famous podcaster guy, and he had it's when he talked about Man of Steel with Henry Cavill, and it was live on stage. Everybody was cheering and stuff.
Oh, the Joshua Horowitz interview.
Exactly. In that, he said specific things that I knew Gunn wasn't going to like. He said, I wanted to be a producer on the film, just like he's a producer now of Warhammer, and he's doing these things. He also said he wanted to help with guiding the story and the writing. James Gunn wasn't going to have anything to do with that. And I guarantee he was going to pick the director, and he was going to now he didn't have a contract at that point, because he had done the 3 cameos. The 3 cameos for the 3 movies were $250,000 a piece. So he got $1 million basically to do those 3 cameos. But he didn't have a contract. But like when you get to a point like Cavill was, he was going to command too much. And that would have been a burden on, and I understand that from James Gunn's position, that would have been a burden. But at that point, he wasn't attached to direct it yet. He was just writing it. And he could have just let someone else take the script and do it and then oversee all of it. But he didn't. He chose to reboot everything. And I think it just messed everything up. But there's
these things that are happening in Hollywood where when an actor gets very prominent and they get box office, that they want producer credits and creative decisions, directions, and James Gunn on the other hand, he wants to be the guy. He wants to make all the decisions, and he wants to have his production company. So they were not gonna fit, and it's pretty obvious.
But you also have to look at. You also have to understand like Gunn's style. You look at the Guardian films and how those scripts are written, and the comedy, the jokey jokes. You look at Peacemaker. This is the guy that took pride in dropping the first F-bomb in a Marvel film. This is the guy that he did the Suicide Squad. And we know the tone. We know the level of. Now he may not do all of that, but his thumbprint is. And then you look at the Creature Commandos. You got characters having sex, cartoon characters having sex. Like what I'm saying is like the guy's mind is not. I don't think he's a general audience guy. It's almost like Rian Johnson. Rian Johnson made a movie, Last Jedi, that he wanted to make, and he didn't care what the audience thought.
No, hold on. I have to disagree with you there.
Okay, go ahead.
James Gunn has his own ideas, but he knows what people like. He doesn't try to just, I think Rian Johnson wanted to cause like an uproar amongst the audience. I don't think James Gunn's that's his intent type of thing.
Let me ask you,
like you're talking about the video that surfaced of Rian Johnson said, I like it when people disagree at the end of the movie. Like,
he wanted a divided audience. He wanted, because then it would make him like immortal, where
I want to do some clarification though, even though this is my issues with the industry. I don't like that people don't work off other people's paintings and we never get things finished. It's just like everyone has to have a blank canvas. They don't work well together. That's why it's ultimately Kathy's fault that they got different directors for the trilogy. They just don't work. It's very hard to get different directors working with each other with a cohesive vision. Very difficult.
But see, J.J. Abrams had a vision for all three films, but he didn't want to take his kids out of the private schools they were going to in Los Angeles with all their friends and move them to the UK for 6 years. And he said that. So he said, I'm only doing the first one, but I'll leave the treatments or the outlines for the rest of them. And when they handed that to Ryan went and threw it out the window and said, I'm going to do my own thing. And even though Abrams was executive producer on The Last Jedi, and had input, I'm sure he saw the red flags. But at that point, the genie's out of the bottle and they were so far into production and all that other kind of stuff. I think, and at that point, what does he care? He's already done his movie. He made $2 billion off his movie, made $2 billion, highest grossing film, domestically of all time.
Yeah. But Rian Johnson just wanted to do stuff to get people talking or to sort of go against, pet the cat the wrong way type of thing on purpose. I don't see that from James Gunn. He does things his own style, but he doesn't try to completely just sort of
but again, his own style. You say he thinks about other people, but yet in Creature Commandos he's got his characters, cartoon characters having sex up against in the bathroom up on a sink. Okay, like, do people really want to see that? Is that what people really want to see with Creature Commandos? Do people really want to see the stuff that to see people dropping F-bombs and Guardians of the Galaxy? They really want to see? Is that what people want to see? I don't think that's what people want to see.
Those characters in Creature, I understand your point, but those characters in Creature Commandos are not like, so they're established characters, but they're not super popular. Like Luke Skywalker is an iconic character,
but they spent $5 million,
like completely different from what people would expect.
When you spend $5 million per episode of the Creature Commandos, you expect the broad audience, not a small clique of people to watch it. They expect that to be general audience.
There's a market for adult animation, though.
So yeah, if you look at the success of what's it called, the Joker Girlfriend show, you know what I mean?
I didn't really.
Never mind.
Harley Quinn.
Yeah.
I didn't really like. I'm still didn't finish Creature Commandos. I want to like it. It's something I want to like, but I don't. I mean, it's not horrible. It's just okay to me. But like, even go back to the creatives taking over. Matt Reeves, he took over for Ben Affleck. He was supposed to be, and he did the exact same thing as James Gunn. If you bring in these directors, they're like, oh, and then they pitch their own thing and they take over. But I give Matt Reeves a fair shot, and I love the Batman. But I still think we were robbed of a really amazing Ben Affleck movie. Well, I think if that would have actually come out, oh my God.
But again, like, I mean, you heard the stuff that went on with Matt Reeves's movie. I don't want to tread over old stuff, but he turned in a script that Warner Brothers didn't like. And they made him put the sequence of the Batmobile in there. You know, the one that everybody goes nuts over. Oh, the Batmobile. That was, it's so great when he's driving and he's in the rain and all this kind of stuff. That wasn't even in the movie. They said to him, this movie is like Sleuth with a spyglass, like movie. There's no action. Where's the action? So they made him beef up the action. The Batmobile scene was put in, and so is the nightclub fight. Because
really?
there wasn't, yeah. So if you took that,
you just broke me, Sean, because I can't stand when executives interfere, but I really like those scenes.
No, because the executives went, this is like the movie Seven.
Yeah.
And he goes, well, that's what I wanted to do.
Well, that's
that's
an example then of good studio interference, because sometimes you do need an executive to be like, hey, like, let's retool this to add some stuff that would like make your movie more exciting.
Yeah. And what were the only things in the trailer?
Yes.
Well, those are
that got people in the seats.
I think those are the two best sequences.
I know. So executives can't be right sometimes.
And they weren't in the movie. They weren't in his movie.
I had no idea about that.
They said, take your script and you got to put some action in this. So if you took those two sequences out of the movie, would the movie be good? Yeah, but it wouldn't be great because everyone would be going, it's almost like Superman Returns. He didn't really fight anybody in that. He didn't really do anything in that except the plane sequence and then lifting the
plane sequence
island
is one of the best Superman sequences I've ever seen.
It's
and it's
absolutely
just like the rest of the movie is just like, okay.
It's like, what did he do?
Never lives up to that. Never lives up to that.
Never lived up to that. And I always say, look, he struggled with that plane.
Yes, the special effects were beyond what we're getting now.
Yeah, but how does he struggle with that plane and then lift an island out of the ocean of kryptonite that's killing him and put it in space when he struggled with the plane? I don't get it. Like, it didn't make any sense. That
happened in Superman Returns. I got to rewatch it.
Yeah, that's what almost killed him. It like was stabbing him.
I don't remember that part.
The kryptonite crystals were stabbing him.
I just remember catching the plane in the stadium.
Dude, that was so good. And when it crimped up, and like it buckled.
That was top tier special effects.
And yeah, somebody commented earlier about Brandon Routh getting the shaft. Yeah, Brandon Routh should have got a second movie. It was terrible what they did with it. They should have retooled it and kept going, but they got cold feet. It's a shame. Warner Brothers.
People think I'm just a Snyder bro. Warner Brothers has consistently done this with talent.
Consistently screwed with their movies and just let's just restart.
And pit talent against each other. Make them fight it out. I can't stand that.
Yeah.
Okay, so Rational has a good thank you, Rational, for the $5. I really appreciate the support. Will Corn Sweat Superman be overshadowed by the ghost of Cavill Superman since they look similar and Cavill Superman is still fresh in people's minds? And then I want to let's be honest. Do you think the normies are going to be confused? Do you think the normies are like, who's this? Where's Cavill? They didn't.
Again, it all depends on marketing.
Well, and again, like when they dropped that one trailer, my brother-in-law, who is a normie, who does not read the comics or any of that stuff, he watched it and he said, what happened to Henry Cavill? And then his next words were, that dog is stupid. And now, well, he's 41, but and when he gave me that reaction, I was like, oh dude, that's exactly is my fear, is that the other people are going to go, huh? Especially if any of them went to see Black Adam that are not fanboys, that love The Rock, and then they saw Henry Cavill come out at the end, and then this new Superman comes out, and then what happened? It's just going to confuse people.
Sean, let me say in contrast, my nieces and nephew, they won't stop talking about the dog.
Okay,
I love
talking about crypto.
I love that, but the little kids won't be. If the movie has to be rewatchable, people are going to have to go, oh my God, this is so good. I got to go see it next weekend again, or I got to go. People need to, like with The Force Awakens, if you want this movie to make money, there needs to be repeat screenings. And that is the 40-year-old plus guys that grew up with all the Superman stuff. And if you don't get those guys to go more than once to the movie, it's done.
Max, can you bring up the puppy bowl thing I posted in the private chat?
Sure. Anthony says, I guarantee you people is going to ask, is David's Superman a prequel to Henry's Superman? Is David Corn Sweat?
Well, the only thing is because there's no origin story and it just picks up, they may think he just got replaced. Who knows? I don't know.
Okay. And I actually I was going to do a single video topic on this. Do you I know people have issues with the Snyder Bros asking for it to be restored. But do you think it's ridiculous that they ask? Because if you look at the history of all these IP and these big franchises, Star Wars, Star Trek got Picard back. Star Wars gets all the OG people back.
They brought back Michael Keaton.
Marvel brings everyone back. They even bring out people that never got a movie made, like Channing Tatum. So it's not ridiculous. Like the equivalent to that would be Joe Manganiello Deathstroke in a Warner Brothers movie.
Give a mouse a cookie, it'll ask for milk.
Okay, RJ. I'm saying even though people are annoyed with the Snyder
you are the mouse, Max.
Yes. It's not bad to ask because of what you're getting elsewhere in the industry. Consistently, you only get this. This is the reason I have so many criticisms of Warner Brothers. You only get this negativity towards your other creatives and your artists at Warner Brothers, where it's not that bad, but also not that bad in other parts of the industry.
Studios bringing back stuff, right?
Yeah, but they all do it, and there's success, and everyone's happy.
Are they bringing them back right away though, or did time pass?
Yeah, but there's
sometimes time has to pass.
You don't have a studio so adamantly fighting against that, though. You're like, okay, Feige, even if he wasn't going to do it, he'd be like, okay, we'll see. You know, he wouldn't be fighting against it, and that's where they completely lose the plot. Like, there's money to be made. There's money to be. Yeah, exactly.
Well, Nicolas Cage didn't even have a movie.
Oh no, you're talking about that garbage scene, and I like The Flash, but that scene, Nicolas Cage wasn't happy with that.
He even said it. He said in
He said they filmed me and they used that.
They filmed me and they used that. He said, I don't even know what that was.
Yeah.
Hey, they brought back George Clooney.
That part I liked. Yes, they did.
Yeah,
they do bring people back. You know?
Yeah,
that was because they cut Ben Affleck's scene at the end of that movie.
It's not to say, you do recognize a difference though, RJ. Yeah, you could cherry pick instances where they do, but the majority of the majority of people that leave Warner Brothers after they're done at their tenure are disgruntled.
I understand.
Very disgruntled.
Ask Gal Gadot.
I think it's fine to ask, but it's also like at some point you got to be a little realistic where it's like give it a few more years. I think
they know these people that are asking know Warner Brothers like I do.
Let me tell you something.
People question everything I say, but they don't realize I've been following Movie Talk in this company forever. I know what Warner Brothers does.
I think you're right. But what I will say is this: Henry Cavill's not coming back. Not after the way that was done. I don't give a shit how much money
opportunities now.
He has other opportunities. Ben Affleck is still a golden boy with Warner Brothers because every one of his movies is profitable.
Yeah, if he wants to,
he's just going to keep doing stuff. Then,
if he wants to do it, they'll let him do it. Yeah, but honestly, Ben Affleck. I love Ben Affleck, but he's so inconsistent on whether he wants to or not. Anyway, he changes his mind. He might get back.
So checked out.
He might get back with J-Lo again before he comes back as Batman.
I hope not.
All right.
Puppy Bowl.
Oh, the Puppy Bowl. Yes.
I just want to show you one little thing.
All right, let me bring up the Puppy Bowl.
It's going to be Team Rough versus Team Fluff.
Oh no!
Listen, I love puppies.
It'll be rough. It'll be scruffy looking dogs against the fluffy little.
So
ones.
Keep scrolling through the lineup.
This is an important factor.
No, they're gonna. Where's the dog? Where's Crypto? There's got to be Crypto. Where's Crypto?
Well, no. There's a name of a puppy in here, Max. I want you to scroll and see if you can find it.
Okay.
Well, there's my daughter's name, Abigail.
Meet the players of Puppy Bowl on Sunday, February 9th. These puppies can't wait to show off their moves. Will Team Rough or Team Fluff win the Lombardi Trophy? Oh my God!
So keep scrolling and see if you find a specific name.
Abigail Labrador Retriever mix.
They're always like,
Oh wait. Next up,
where is it?
Do you have to click on all of them? Oh, it's got to be that one. That one looks just like Crypto.
Team Rough Allison. Oh, view the gallery.
Okay. I'll just tell you guys because I don't know what's up at the mobile.
Oh, wait, here it is. Here it is. Team Fluff Amanda. Team Rough Apollo.
Keep going.
Team Fluff Archie. Team Fluff Asiago. Oh, Team Rough Avalanche.
Keep going.
Team Fluff Bacon.
Bacon.
Team Rough Bandit. Team Fluff Barnaby. Team Rough Bay. Is James Gunn's dog in here?
Keep going.
Team Fluff Benji. Team Rough Betty. Team Fluff Basu. Team Fluff Blue. Oh, I like that one.
Australian Shepherd.
Yeah, that's what I have. Team Fluff Blizzard.
Where is he?
Team Rough Bow. Team Rough Brisket. Where is it, RJ? There's a lot of puppies here.
I know.
Team Fluff Butterbean.
Is he part of Fluff?
Are you on the right page?
I think so. Carlos. Is this an old year?
Chaos? No,
Double-
that's
Oh, that's
the
a
players.
2023. That's 2023.
Oh.
Damn it, Max.
Jeez Louise, guys. The production on this show needs to improve.
Oh,
There
so
you
view
go.
the
View
gallery
this
there.
year's gallery. There you go.
Oh, I was on last year's. I'm sorry, everyone. Trio, the Boston Terrier. Well, we get some context of the previous years.
Smoosh.
Smoosh.
Oh,
Max.
A tripod.
I'm rooting for Max.
That's awesome.
Pause. Alan. Foxtrot.
So RJ, was that it? Was it Max,
No. It's another one.
the three-legged dog?
Kiki.
Kiki.
Mr. Pickles.
He's cool.
Charlotte. Enrique. Carl. Demure. Is this worth it, RJ? This is a big setup for Alice. What do you think? What do you think, Voltaire? Is this worth it?
I trust RJ, I guess.
I promise there was a
Bone-
lead up to this.
The
There's got
Bone Samuel.
Whoopi. Beethoven. Aloe. Andy. Am I on the wrong year again? This is the right one.
Maybe they put him at the end.
What is
Bark
it
Kent.
says
There
there's
we
a
go. There he is.
Yeah,
Bark
okay.
Kent.
RJ, are you kidding me? All this for Bark Kent?
Really,
It-
RJ.
That's the Superman
Boo.
promo.
Boo!
RJ, as a
Bark
professional Twitter
Bark
person, I
Kent.
can't believe you did that.
Bark
But I'm serious though.
RJ.
They named a puppy after Superman for this event.
They
The powers that be.
Now pull up the lingerie, the lineup for the lingerie.
I
girl.
would
okay,
like
I'm
to see
okay. That would be more
lingerie.
entertaining for the viewers.
But that was what I was saying. Like they're gonna. I guarantee you, this dog, Bark Kent, is gonna be the one to win the game for the team.
Well, I
James
mean,
Gunn fixed the puppy bowl.
there's not even a football. I mean, they just kind of they narrate it.
They
Have you
just
ever
sniff
seen
each
it? I've
other's
watched it.
butts.
They narrate it and they like scoot them along to like walk down, and it's just silly. I don't know why they do. But all the
Trash.
dogs are adoptable, and that's the whole point.
Yes,
is-
the whole point is about
that's
getting
the-
awareness.
I'm
for
down with
adoption,
that. It's
yeah.
a good message. It's a good message. I don't know if the
But I'm just saying,
crypto is going to be a good message. But
We need a wah, 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 you know, that type of sound
But
effect.
Max, like
that
that's
was a
what I'm saying,
bit
like that dog is going to be all over the show because he's named after Superman.
okay. I get it. I thought they gonna put a James Gunn's actual dog in there, or a dog that looks similar to Crypto.
Well, his dog will be at the Puppy Bowl, but he's not competing.
I would love to see James Gunn at the Puppy Bowl. But that kind of thing, if you're a critic, that writes itself. Cavill is the Super Bowl. Corn Sweat's the Puppy Bowl.
Mm.
You know,
well, but it is interesting. I think when we talk about Corn Sweat in the shadow of Cavill, and I think even though they are like, well, everyone kind of looks like Superman. They don't look like each other. They all look like Superman, blue eyes, brown hair, blah, blah, blah. But there are striking resemblances. Like you put Christopher Reeve next to Cavill, they don't look the same. They don't. Their face, they may have the cut jaw, but they don't look the same. And then Brandon Routh, you put them next to each other, they don't look the same as Cavill. This guy looks like a clone, except skinnier. Except he's not skinny now. But when they cast him, he just looked like a baby version of him. And it's like, I don't know. I
mean,
think people
I like the vibe of him in the trailer, except for the flying. That was the only issue I had.
I'm just curious how Corn Sweat is going to handle the press junket, and if they are told ahead of time, if they're told ahead of time, do not bring up Henry Cavill to all the reporters that come in. And
that would be a smart thing to do. I would be surprised if they don't,
because
it's not
the
worth
first questions are going to be, how do you feel filling the shoes after Henry Cavill? Like, dude, that's not the question he wants.
What they're going to tell him to say, and it's going to be, Cavill was great. The legacy of Superman, all the actors before Superman. It's a big shoes to fill. I'm honored to have the opportunity.
That would be the
I
professional
look
thing.
forward to it.
And then move on.
Yeah, but God, that's just such a. I think if Henry Cavill had bowed out and just said, "I'm not doing these anymore,"
Well,
I've done
they
my
also
turn,
made look.
it would have been different. But because how it soured and it was a
Well,
public
look how
debacle, I
people
think that's the problem.
Yeah, but
Look
who
how
knows
they.
about that, Sean? Like
Yeah.
people like us know about that, but normies don't know about that.
True, but they're gonna find out when people like my brother-in-law goes, "What happened to Henry Cavill?" when he sees the trailer. Those people are going to start asking those questions, and then people are going to find out those answers because Google exists, and that could backfire. I don't know. I feel like they should have just waited a little bit more.
That Cavill had the cultural zeitgeist, so to speak, like he had captured so much.
Well, look at the
Superman. You know that people are going to be missing him.
Well, look at what Warner Brothers does consistently to its talent. Besides them losing their jobs, is they villainize their talent. There's straight up people that can't stand Cavill and act like he was a tyrant of his demands. Like if you get to Cavill's level, you should be asking for producer credits in Hollywood.
Well, I mean, Christopher Reeve, when Christopher Reeve got to Superman 3 and 4, even though those movies were disasters, albeit Superman 3 actually made a little bit of cash.
This is what happens.
But he wanted control of the story. Because he saw these guys were ruining him. I mean, you watch the behind the scenes on Superman 4, and it's really sad what happened. I mean, like how it all went down. But
Cavill is a draw, Bruce. I'd say he's
got a lot. He's got some big tests in front of him though.
Yeah.
Because Argyle didn't really work out at all.
That wasn't his fault. He was barely in that movie.
It wasn't his fault, but they pushed him as the main star, and still people didn't show up.
It was a bait and switch. He's literally not the star of the movie.
Yeah, that movie, what was it, the Gentlemanly Warfare movie, which it did find an audience eventually on digital, although it didn't do well in theaters. But the next couple of movies will be a big test for him. Voltron for Amazon and MGM, and then the Highlander reboot.
Yeah,
so we'll see.
I mean, people were interested in The Witcher until he left, and then interest dropped off a cliff.
Yeah. Dude, let me look. That Mission Impossible, dude. If he didn't get killed off, he was literally the best part of that Mission Impossible.
Yeah, the gun reload thing.
Oh, dude, his entire character throughout the whole thing.
Oh no, he's great. He's great in that movie.
He was such a good villain in that, and I don't know.
He's excellent as The Witcher. Like he was really, really good.
And, honestly, Warner Brothers should have treated him much better because they could have had him in other Warner Brothers projects.
Yeah, but Max, I think your point is correct. That I think that, and I like Cavill. I'm not criticizing him. I think he has a lot of demands. I don't think I think those rumors about him are true. That he's.
Yes, but that's probably true. But that's a lot of what the A-listers want.
But also remember, he's so adamant about being a stickler for the source material, which is why he butted heads with people on The Witcher,
right? Because
he would say something like, "What about that chandelier?" And they'd be like, who cares about the chandelier? He was like, "What do you mean? You've obviously never played the game. You got to know what the chandelier is." So like that kind of stuff. And we're talking about a guy that does the little figurines and paints them himself and all this guy. Like you don't fuck with that guy when he says this is. Oh, sorry, I dropped the F on this. This is what you need to do. And the writers are like, "Oh, we're not going to go in that direction." What? And I could see him getting pissed and leaving. And so when it comes to Superman, it was those key things he said in that interview. Writing, I want to be a producer on it. That's a big move. That's a big move. I just don't think
he wanted anything to do with that. Yeah, I agree with you. I think that he was making those demands.
Yeah.
Anthony says even Tom Cruise and Christopher McQuarrie came out after the movie and say, "Yeah, it was a mistake to kill off Henry."
There you go.
Agree to disagree. I think there's room to criticize, but I think he's close to being an A-lister. I don't know. I think he should try for it for sure.
He's the next level.
Rational Skeptic says in one of his, Max and Sean, remember Superman Returns 2 and then Justice League Mortal were in production around the same time until the writer's strike.
Yeah.
My friend Daryl Lefevre was the accountant in Australia on Justice League Mortal.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
Great.
They spent $14 million before they pulled the plug on it, but it wasn't the writer's strike. It was Christopher Nolan pitched Batman Begins. and they said, well, we want to go in that direction because we like what Christopher Nolan says, and they pulled the plug on Justice,
okay.
and because
That's
we would have had Batman would have been the guy that
part of it.
that bit people. What's the actor he was cast
Armie
as
Hammer.
Batman? Armie Hammer was cast as
Mm.
Batman. I mean, they had everything going, and George Miller directing and the whole 9 yards, and they'd spent $14 million before Daryl told me that they pulled the plug, Warner Brothers, and he flew back from Australia. But they had done all that work with the costumes, but none of those Batman and all those young people, they didn't look like Henry Cavill. They didn't look like Ben Affleck. As far as the costumes, they looked all metro thin, they could be baristas and stuff,
Cheeseman, let me correct you.
Well, maybe it's for the best that they cancel that project.
I think that's another reason why they pulled the plug on it. They started seeing what the costumes all looked like, and they were like, "Oh, this is not."
Look at this misinformation that Cheeseman's giving. Max says Christian Bale and Tom Hardy aren't A-list, but somehow Henry Cavill is, to make it sense. Chat. Christian Bale and Tom Hardy are A-list.
They are A-list.
I don't understand the Hardy. And Christian Bale is hit or miss. I don't think he gives it all.
But he's super A-list, Max.
No, I know they are A-list.
They're both A-list actors.
I don't
Christian
understand.
Bale more than Tom Hardy.
I think Tom Hardy, I don't understand because I don't think he's an amazing actor. I don't think he's bad. I just don't get it. Like people was like, "Oh wow, was it Tom Hardy great?" I'm like, "No, he was okay."
Dude, I was just gonna say the Tom Hardy gives some amazing performances. I mean, and he does the weird body, shapeshifter.
Okay.
He can put on weight, take it off, get skinny. It's kind of like what Christian Bale does, where he can be.
I love Christian Bale from like I was a fan of his from back in Newsies. I love my favorite part of him when that's how long I've been a fan of him.
I mean, Empire of the Sun, when he was his first movie with Spielberg,
he's
a little kid.
Christian Bale's
He's been around a while.
He's at Christian Bale's level, but yeah, they're both very good.
But the best role in the Batman trilogy was Batman Begins. After that, I feel like he phoned it in. Like he wasn't a great Batman after that. He wasn't a great Bruce. The best part of the trilogy was Heath Ledger. No,
if you look at Christian Bale's best work, it's not Batman. In my opinion, but
it's other movies. Yeah,
and then when I saw him in the Thor Love and Thunder,
Psycho, I couldn't. Those kinds of things.
I was very underwhelmed by Gore the God Butcher.
Dude, I actually teared up when his daughter died.
I was
like, oh my god, that was so heavy. Like right off the bat, he brought it to the god, and the god wouldn't bring his daughter back to life. Because I have a 5-year-old daughter, so at the time she was like 2 when that movie came out or something, and I was like, oh my god, it really was emotional for me.
Yeah, but that scene was good. I agree. I like that scene, and it really touched your heart.
He was definitely underused in that movie because his talent is really good.
That's a poorly written movie. That wasn't Christian Bale's fault. That was just terrible writing.
Yeah.
All right, we could do a few more quick topics. People are asking, like, Bruce, is this a one-topic show? I guess it is. We're just going with the flow.
Well, we've been bouncing around.
Yeah, but this is really interesting. I think I've seen this guy before, and I don't know his acting ability, but my God, does he look like Green Arrow? Wait, what?
He's in The Gentleman on Netflix.
The Gentleman on Netflix. So actor Harry Goodwin posted a photo of Green Arrow with the following caption: "In 2025, I have big moves. It's happening." And he also tagged James Gunn.
Hey, he very much looked like Green Arrow.
Oh my goodness. And that's a character that I really want to see done well in live action movie form.
If he tagged James Gunn, they've already talked to him that he's going to get the part.
Yeah. Well, it's if they're going to do that would be great if Superman is successful enough that they announce some new projects. I think they are waiting till after Superman.
I mean, this is not even subtle what he's posting.
Yeah.
I mean, he better have the job.
Yeah.
I mean, how could I've never seen such a slam dunk of a casting, if that's accurate, if this is true. I want this to happen now. Yes.
Max, do you feel like what I sent you in your with the stuff from what's his name, Roca, is that too controversial to play on this show?
No, we could play it.
I was also going to ask about Fantastic Four.
Sure. Get that ready for RJ, and we'll do the Roca thing next. But I was just like, I saw this and I'm like, I've seen him before, but I haven't seen any of his acting. You said what show is he in? Or movie?
The Gentleman on Netflix.
Is it good? Does he do good acting?
Yeah, it's a nice show. Who does he play in The Gentleman?
I'm not for sure.
I don't recognize.
So
just
what
know
if
that
you were
that's
going
where
to put
he's
a
from.
percentage on it? The way he tagged James Gunn, do you think he is Oliver Queen Green Arrow?
98% based on what he's
98%.
posted. Yeah.
Yeah, I think he's like 98%. But I see Anthony in there in the comment section saying $80 million budget. No, that Green Arrow should be 40. That's a $40 million movie right there. They could absolutely because he's just a dude with an arrow. You know,
Right.
he's not. He doesn't have the Batmobile. He doesn't have any of this kind of stuff. Like they need to start thinking like Daredevil level. He's a Daredevil level
they go-
It's
character.
a street level type of
They
thing.
go with
with
the
bow and arrow.
origins
Yeah.
of Oliver McQueen, like they did in the Arrow show. He's on an island first. I don't know if they want to do that. You know, there's lots you could do to bring the budget down to see if it works. First.
Yeah, I would do 40 million on that.
Okay, so Voltaire and RJ, what would your percentage be on him being based on him tagging James Gunn? I have some big things happening and putting Green Arrow in his post. How likely do you think that?
Yeah, I
already
called 98%. That's too much for him to be posting that. That's too.
Yeah,
Like his agents, if he wasn't allowed to post that, he wouldn't have posted it.
yeah.
RJ?
I think that account got it wrong though. I don't think he tagged James Gunn. He only tagged the DC account.
Oh, okay.
So,
Well, what do you think?
I think he's definitely campaigning for the role.
Campaigning.
I mean, it really depends on if they have any plans for Green Arrow.
Some people get really negative on campaigns from actors. I'm like, I'm all for it.
No, look at the one guy that got the Green Lantern role. He campaigned for
Rosario
it.
Dawson, Shang-Chi actor. They campaigned
Ryan
for
Reynolds.
Ryan
Reynolds.
Yeah,
Ryan Reynolds. People seem to forget that Ryan Reynolds, Zack Snydered it and released a clip without the permission of the studio.
Yeah.
You know, asked for forgiveness later. You know, people seem to think that Zack Snyder's the only one that's going to film in a driveway.
And
No,
he
he
created
did.
arguably one of the best comic book characters that we've seen on cinema.
So
Absolutely.
people still clutch their pearls that he filmed in a driveway Green Lantern scene. I'm like, oh God, really? I love that kind of stuff. But that's what Ryan Reynolds did to get Deadpool. Sometimes
Dude,
the studios,
I did a pickup shot on something I worked on in my driveway.
Yeah.
I mean,
I love that kind of stuff.
Sometimes you just got to roll like that.
But I don't know. I would put this 50-50. I would love if this actor, he just looks so much like it.
Yeah, I mean, he looks like it. I've never seen him act in anything, so I couldn't tell you if he's got skill, but I'm sure if he's on a Guy Ritchie television produced show and this is what he looks like, the guy's probably perfect.
Look at that there. Damn, dude looks just like Ollie. Never seen him in anything. His acting chops, but we'll look him up. Better actor, charisma, and charm than Amell straight away. Like, I like Stephen Amell, but yeah, there can definitely be improvement.
But let's be honest. If you shaved off the mustache and goatee, you have Aquaman.
Okay.
That's true too.
Right.
When I watched The Gentleman, I watched every episode. I can't recognize which character he played, but there was no like bad acting in that show. Like you said, it's a Guy Ritchie show.
In the comments section on that Everything DC, did somebody do a derpy derp Superman like meme? Is that what somebody did?
I don't know. It's been.
I thought I saw somebody do somebody doing the little derp derp.
Yeah.
Oh no. Oh no. That's they're talking about the
people.
sneak peek. Oh hey, look at that kid.
Gaza. Wow. That's sad.
That's sad.
Yeah. All right. Let's bring up Voltaire
well,
now.
I said real quick because like my Fantastic Four thing was just really quick.
Okay.
So they're dropping the trailer Tuesday on Good Morning America. They're not going to wait for the Super Bowl. They're just going to drop it early. So I was going to ask
for what
about that.
Fantastic Four.
Yes, on Tuesday.
Really?
Because it's February 4th. So it's 4/4.
Yeah, and you know, like there's a Hellman's commercial that is reenacting with Billy Crystal and what's her name? Used to be married to Dennis Quaid. Meg Ryan. They're reenacting the famous scene where she has the orgasm and
like she's
Harry Met Sally.
But yeah, but the from Harry Met Sally, but they already dropped it on TikTok. So it's like,
well, Booking.com also dropped their Super Bowl spot early too with the Muppets. So yeah,
I haven't seen that. I love the Muppets, but that's weird that everyone's dropping them early instead of waiting and teasing them and getting everyone excited.
Well, I was going to ask if you guys thought that they should have waited to drop the Fantastic Four trailer for the Super Bowl, or if it's smart marketing to do the 4/4 release.
How about this? they're so confident in the movie they don't need to spend $6 million for a 30-second spot at the Super Bowl. That's what I think. I think they know this movie's going to be
Okay.
big.
Well, let me ask you this then, Sean. Could you not say that the same about Superman? They're going to use the Puppy Bowl instead of the Super Bowl? They're that confident?
No.
I think honestly, the industry as a whole is watching how they spend their marketing budget.
I
there's
think
less
that's
profits.
well,
Yeah,
but again, I feel like when you fire 4 people from your head of marketing and all that stuff for Warner Brothers, what's the strategy? Who's I don't know. I'm worried.
It's confusing to me because these Super Bowls with the Kansas City Chiefs, these Taylor Swift Super Bowls,
Everyone's going to be there. It's
Right.
all her fans.
this
it's
is
the
not a
Swifties.
regular Super Bowl.
This is not a regular Super Bowl.
Superman is worthy of the Super Bowl. I'm sorry. I know people are going to say it's free, like Bruce, free advertising for the Puppy Bowl. Superman should be at the Super Bowl.
Well,
Sorry.
what if they
So should the Fantastic Four, technically.
I know, but Superman is a bigger character than the Fantastic Four.
No, but it's
It's still a
Disney
big movie.
What if one does drop and they haven't announced it and it's a complete surprise and it's full of action and it's got John Williams score and it's like, what if they're not telling everyone that they've bought a slot?
It would be so James Gunn to do that, but yeah.
Yeah, maybe he's thinking that way. I don't know.
I think it's probably just.
I still think that there's a possibility that they do go to the Super Bowl with the Fantastic Four spot, maybe just to advertise the trailers online. They could still do that.
They could do
because they were saying that there was going to be 2 Marvel spots at the Super Bowl this year.
Mike, a 30-second spot. Look up for the full trailer Tuesday.
Or you'd have the Super Bowl. They're not going to do Thunderbolts or anything like that, or. The Super Bowl is
the current rumor is that Marvel was going to do Fantastic Four and Thunderbolts for the Super Bowl.
And I heard Lilo and Stitch too is going to be a big one.
But February 9th is the Super Bowl and February 14th is Captain America. You don't think they might just drop another Captain America in there?
They could, but that movie's coming out so soon they may want to use Super Bowl just to promote their summer releases.
Yeah,
it really depends.
Yeah.
I'm not thinking this Captain America is going to do great. I want to support. I want it to be good, but
it's going to make like 80 million opening weekend, and then who knows what it does after that.
Mm-hmm. So this is Blame Voltaire, and then we do have a few voicemails. I don't know if you want to stay for that, Sean.
Absolutely, I got nothing going on.
Okay, all right. So here is. Let's see. Did Roca? Who do you think said the crazy thing, Roca or Snyder? Before Voltaire knows, but see what we take of this here. All right, it's only 45 seconds.
Maybe you don't have as many diverse leads. Maybe you don't have the female characters coming back to be a part of your Star Wars, and you adjust it so you're going back to white male leads. I would not be surprised to see that happening. And you all can tell me that I'm putting on my tinfoil hat. I could give a fuck.
There's no way Bob Iger is going to Donald Trump and being like, Donald Trump, our new overlord, let us try to appease you by making the Star Wars leads white again. Like,
making the Star. I will say this, and I got chewed up on this very channel, as I said, there's a noticeable pivot. The men were not erased in the last version of Star Wars, but all the names that are popping up are very popular white males in the industry right now.
Ryan Gosling is being touted for a Star Wars film.
They said Cavill was the rumor now too.
Cavill to play a villain.
Who were some of the other names that came up recently? There's a noticeable pivot. Does that mean women characters are erased? No, but who was some of the other ones? RJ, do you remember? There's some of the other ones that were rumored. They were all white guy actors.
For what was it?
Star Wars projects coming up.
The only one that was reported recently was Ryan Gosling.
Ryan Gosling movie. I did a topic on another one.
I would be down if he played Dash Rendar.
Look, Ryan Gosling looks like a Jedi. What do you want me to tell you?
No. Dash Rendar. Make him a swashbuckler pirate guy. Let's have fun with that.
I gotta look through my. I've made so many videos I can't remember. I'm trying to think here.
But yeah, I'll be honest with you. Roca's. He's not off because I feel like there's a lot of people bending the knee because they're scared.
Scared of who though, Sean?
The audience is not coming.
Scared of the audience, scared
yeah.
of the public.
Well, no, well, you got to think about Disney. Think about the feud with Florida and the park.
Scared of their
and
customers, in other words.
Scare. Yeah, maybe.
Okay, well, there you go. Well, you should be scared of your customers. You should be scared of your clients. Yeah, you have to make your clients happy. At the end of the day, these studios, look, at the end of the day, these studios are vendors. They're vendors. They're selling something. So they got to keep their customers happy. People don't think of
even
it
if
that
you don't
way,
agree with your customers.
they are vendors. And if you don't like a certain vendor, you will go to another vendor or you'll stop going to that vendor, even if you don't go to another vendor. So they're vendors.
It's show business.
Remember that.
It's show business, and they have to maintain the business. And if they have to backpedal, but see, I think they should give the kid who did the motion capture and all for what's the Star Wars thing that the guy who was also in Gotham.
Oh, Cameron Monaghan.
Let him do his character.
Oh yeah. That's another white male.
It's been rumored that they might be doing something.
No,
with
I'm
that.
not. What do you want me to say? I support them all with Star Wars. I don't care who is in there, but they have made a pivot back to white male casting.
No. I mean, it's actually rumored that they might be bringing him in to live action, which I'd be down for.
Dude, I'd be down for that too. I mean, what's wrong with that? I mean, he's a redhead. He's still only
the knee? Listen,
he's a minority.
They gave the opportunity for these characters, and whether you think the audience should have responded or not, the money is not there, unfortunately.
Listen,
they gave him a fair shot.
Test a movie. I would bring that guy in. I would do all that kind of stuff. But anyway.
Well, there you have it then.
Well, I mean, they underestimate that, we don't want to speak for women too. Like, women only want to see women in Star Wars. No, they like to see a heroic man too. That's still a thing. I love to see heroic women. Like I can't. I'm like the Friday Night Tights. I'm like, really? You only want to see men in tights? I'd like to see everybody in tights.
I'd love to see John Boyega as a Jedi, a badass Jedi.
Yeah. Oh yeah. If they make, I honestly think the Rey movie is not going to happen the way it is. And then they're just going to, at the point that they finally get it together, they're just going to make 10, 11, and 12. And I would hope that John Boyega Finn has a strong character arc.
Those characters that they developed in the sequel trilogy, all of them were fine.
Yes.
They were just written poorly.
They just need better scripts. That's all.
Correct.
And who here thinks that it's going to be released, the Rey movie, with that director? And I'm not shading the director. No. I just don't think it's going to happen.
No. I think, look, all of it, really, the linchpin is Mando versus
Hooters.
Or Mando and Grogu. If that movie doesn't perform, oh dude, it's
you're probably just not going to get Star Wars for a while.
Not for a long time.
Star Wars is dangerously close to apathy, everybody.
Dude, they're already talking about Galaxy's Edge is suffering too. Like people
here's the thing. I like the shows, but if you go with what did we have? The Acolyte underperformed what they wanted.
Kenobi.
Skeleton Crew underperformed.
Skeleton Crew.
No, I'm not even going as far. People still watch Kenobi enough. But I'm saying
no. People just skip to the one episode and watch the Darth Vader fights. No one cares about anything else with Kenobi.
All right, so the Acolyte, Skeleton Crew, and then the next pro show is Andor season 2, which I'm looking forward to, but I don't think it's going to do good numbers. And then if you get Mandalorian and Grogu and it underperforms, it's going to be a while before you get Star Wars projects. I'm sorry.
The only thing that saves Mandalorian and Grogu because of the time frame is you bring Han, Leia, and Luke in it, and they're all face swapped, and they're in there.
Just recast them for God's sake. But yes, you're right. They will face swap them. They'll do that kind of thing.
But why did you want us to watch this, Voltaire? You thought
keep going. It gets better. You cut it off before it gets crazy.
There's no fucking way that's what's happening, John. You're crazy.
Yep. You can call me crazy all you want. These are the halls of power, brother. These are billionaires. It's a whole different ball.
Oh, wow. John Roca thinks that Iger's bending the knee to Trump and saying
that's his point. Yeah.
Make Star Wars white
great again.
No, white again. White male again. Really? I don't think he's being serious. You think he's being serious here?
I do. Remember,
he looks dead serious.
Comments like this before.
But he's not out of the realm of like possibility. I mean, look at what's happened in the last 2 weeks.
I don't even think he has anything to do with. I don't think the current president has anything to do with it. I think honestly, stockholders and people that invest in these movies are like, enough of this. Come on, just give us a good character. Not that the other characters were bad. Just do something here.
Look,
Get a big name actor.
Kathleen Kennedy's contract is up this year. And
Oh, boy.
what happens next will be
Well, there is a reason.
Yeah.
I've been following this quite closely, and I've taken L's on Kathy. I underestimated Kathy when I started making those videos. I really did. I got a big L on Kathy. Yes, she is extremely connected. She deserved every opportunity for this shot. I just think she failed. I think she whiffed on the shot, though. But there is something to be said that there's not like the typical, we extended her three years, and you have a celebration coming up, and then you have Mandalorian Grogu. And if that doesn't perform, I think they are going to look for someone else. I always said, even when I said fired, I did that for clickbait. I admit I use clickbait because you don't get fired unless you get caught with your pants down in Hollywood. They don't say that in the trades. You're fired. They say, oh, they had another opportunity. I thought she was going to move up to Disney president after Iger. I thought they were going to put her there.
well, she can't. Well, she can't truly run a studio. Obviously.
Well, no, I mean, this was before she failed even harder. This was like, this is where that's what I initially
72.
thought.
She'll be
No,
73
this was years ago. I made this prediction when
No,
Bob Iger left the first time. Yeah.
No, I agree. I think she will retire when her contract's up at the end of the year.
Do you really? If she's
absolutely
ready, she'll retire.
No. Well, when they gave her the contract extension last time, the extra 3 years, it was her choice then. Now, I think who wants to keep dealing with this stuff at 72, 73, 74? No, I mean,
There you go.
Well, let's see what else he has to say here.
give it
You
to
think
John
Donald
Favreau.
Trump gives a fuck who the fuck is starring in Star Wars movies?
100%.
He's right. He's absolutely right.
No, can you imagine if Trump said something about Star Wars and Kathy? Oh my God, it would get so bad. Could someone tweet at Trump? No, don't do that because people get mad at me. Because I'm not a fan of Donald Trump either. But if someone asked him about Star Wars and Kathleen Kennedy and Lucasfilm, oh my God, man!
Well, he would just attack Bob Iger because of what happened in
Bob
Florida
Iger?
and all the diversity and all. Dude,
Yeah.
that's what he's been going on, blaming an aircraft collision on DEI or whatever.
I don't think he cares about I haven't seen him talk about Star Wars at all. He cares more about McDonald's than Star Wars.
I don't think
McDonald's
he knows
and
what
money.
Star Wars is, but I think you're right. If he'd go after Bob Iger.
He would go after Iger. Yeah.
Okay. All right. This but Roca is dead. I thought it was.
Look at his face. Does he look like he's joking? No,
No, he is not joking. He is not joking.
I
at
like
all.
Roca. I like him a lot. I think on this one he's. I like how Snyder's pushing back on it. He thinks it's hilarious.
I think he gives a fuck about everything now. Maybe you don't have as many diverse leads. Maybe you don't have the female characters coming back to be a part of your Star Wars, and you adjust it so you're going back to white male leads.
Oh my God. I'm just thinking about why isn't speaking of geeks and gooners, which is probably accurate, Bruce, why hasn't the typical usual suspects picked this up here that making videos, Trump makes Star Wars great again? Oh my God, I can just see the videos responding to Roca. Roca, you are completely setting this up for some other anti-SJW.
He might be getting, looking for the clickbait too.
Okay, all right. Oh my God.
He's made comments like this before, though.
RJ's staying silent. He's not saying it. He's like, I'm skipping this one out.
Yeah, I'm also tired. It's it's 1 a.m.
Oh, okay.
Wow.
You're not staying for the voicemails?
No, I gotta go.
Okay, that's fine. Thank you.
All right,
Thank y'all for inviting me. This was a ton of fun.
Kind of fun? Oh wow.
No,
Thanks.
it's been a ton of fun.
Oh, ton of fun. Awesome.
Yeah.
Should we bring Sean back? Is it
Sure, if
okay?
he wants to.
We need
I'm
more
gonna-
whites
I'm gonna make a
in the
rule.
Star Wars.
And he's from the South, so
Jeez. All right, guys. Y'all.
All right.
Yeah,
Thanks,
y'all have a
RJ.
good
All right, RJ.
Take
guys.
it easy.
Good night.
All right. Yes. All right. So let me bring up the voicemails. The last thing we'll do, and then we'll get closing thoughts with Sean. And Sean, put your channels in the private chat so I can link them up. Go check him out. He's doing a lot of content. I keep telling him to start another channel.
I keep forgetting.
Do another channel. We'll get you there, Sean. You know, we'll get you there. We'll support you. I will, at least. I don't know about all my chat, but all right.
I'll get there.
Yeah. He has a channel that was monetized. It's very, it's a shame.
They demonetized me for what they called reuse, which
I've
was
seen
very
that
vague because they never gave me.
I'm very careful with shorts.
Yeah.
Yeah,
anything that has something in shorts that's like of a trailer or something, I don't even do parts of my trailer reactions because trailer reactions on videos are fine. But if you clip out part of that for a short, it's just
and then they're like,
the studios even care that you're replaying their trailers, even if you replay your trailers without any commentary. It helps them, if any. It's just ridiculous.
Yeah. The whole thing is so. Yeah, so I've got a love-hate relationship with my channel. I keep making content, and I actually don't mind it without commercials because I don't. I have my real job, so I don't. Not that this is. I mean, this would be cool if this was my full-time job, but it's not. So, I'm not worried about like not making money off of YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
So you were doing trailer commentary, Sean, and they took your channel down, or they demonetized you?
They doing a lot of shorts. I remember that.
They demonetized it for reuse, but would never give me an explanation of what video it was. It said, now they want me to have 4.
Did you ever contact Nerdette's Newsstand? I don't know if you know her channel. She got hers back for the same thing. And so I know you might not be a fan of Echo Based Network, but they did too. They both had the same thing, reuse content that everyone, and they got their channels back.
Yeah, I mean, I've done everything like that they offer that you can do, but in order to get the channel back monetized, I have to have 10 million views of my shorts or 4,000 watched hours. And I think I'm at 1,700 hours of watch time in the last year or whatever. So I need another 1,500 or so.
24-hour stream coming from Sean.
I know. And I just haven't devoted the time because I got a 5-year-old. So I just keep
you're a family man.
Yeah.
Well,
I just do this.
Still go support his commentary. I enjoy your videos. I go there on the shorts. Okay, so let me bring this up. They're not going to be able to see us, so they can't see our call-in's phone number. All right, so let's see who this is.
Sorry, I was just going to put that in.
Hello, this is directly to Crazy Joe. Crazy Joe, I know you're in the chat. And I want you to listen to this and listen very, very clearly. I want you to replay this clip over and over again.
Over and over again.
Brandon, in your brain. So you've been on and on saying that Gal Gadot is coming back. And Wonder Woman. New DC universe. Despite everything, despite the complete reboot, recasting, new Superman, new Batman, you say, Gal Gadot's coming back. She said so. Well, I got this quote right here from Gal Gadot. I think it's from 2022. She goes, this is a quote that I think Crazy Joe has been latching on to. She was like, aha, she is coming back as Wonder Woman.
Thank you, Senator.
I was invited to the meeting with James Gunn and Peter Sampson, co-president and CEO of DC along Gunn. And what they told me, and I'm quoting, you're in the best hands. We're going to have a better bit Wonder Woman 3 with you. We love you as Wonder Woman. We got nothing to worry about, so time will tell. Okay. Well then, Crazy, I know you don't care about the fake news guys, I guess, because you don't believe of scoopers and press release. But right now I'm looking at Variety. And Variety cited sources that reporting stating that nothing was ever promised to Gal Gadot regarding Wonder Woman 3, nor was there any definitive discussion of Gadot's Wonder Woman continuing with the new DC universe. So who's lying? Saffron and Gunn?
Oh my God!
They have this supposed me with Gal Gadot saying, "No, don't worry, you're coming back, Wonder. We love you," and then take backseat? Or was it Gal Gadot who knows her career is slowly dying before her eyes?
You've
and
got
just
too
make
far,
shit up.
Senior Nerd. Oh, makes
Could be
it up.
that. Now you'd be like, well, that's nothing really semantic. Well, now I'm looking at a quote from Paige Jenkins, who directed Wonder Woman and Wonder Woman 1984.
Is there a
Which is
time
pretty
limit
low.
on these?
You love Wonder
We
Woman
have no
84,
time
pretty
limit.
low.
No.
Okay.
Okay, it
We
says
should.
right here, this from pretty much the day after report came out that there's not going to be no Wonder Woman 3. From Paige Jenkins, I never walk away. I was open to consider anything asked from me, of me. It was my understanding there was nothing I could do to move anything forward at this time.
Oh, that's it. Thank God.
I think he ran out.
Okay, so that was one. Thank you for Senior Nerd.
Thank you.
I doubt Gal Gadot's coming back too. Crazy
She's done.
Joe.
She's done. Yeah.
Joe,
I never thought that was anything. I think he ran into James Gunn in a cocktail party and spoke to him and thought that was like some indication, but it never was going to happen.
I've consistently criticized James Gunn about his interactions with other creatives other than himself. They're not on the same page. If you look at Ben Affleck, you look at Gal Gadot, you look at David Ayer. David Ayer was kissing his ass so hard for a long time, and then he realized, oh, James Gunn's never going to give me a shot to release my Ayer cut. So when they meet with James Gunn, he talks real positive. He's a nice guy. Woo, you did a great job. I'm not firing you. I'm not going to hire you, though. And he's just sitting back. He believes his spin. He believes his
You
spin.
weren't fired. You just weren't cast.
It's like he's right. Exactly. That's just
he talks
spin.
out of his.
Yeah. He believes his BS. And
I
don't hate the man. He's very prolific. He's very talented. But I consistently say they're not on the same page, and I don't think Gal was on the same page as Gunn in that meeting. I think he did talk to her. I think the only one he really
a meeting. They bumped into each other at a cocktail party. I'm telling you.
Okay. What's the usual time limit on these? It should be less than that.
Thank you, Senior Nerd. We appreciate your call.
Yeah. Well, Senior Nerd has more. I think I can only do one more. Because this one's only a minute.
Maybe
33.
if Gail slicked her hair back and then went to one of his parties, she'd look like a boy. I don't know.
Oh. Oh no, you didn't say that. Oh man. Oh, Sean, boo.
This is the hot mic.
No, I never said any word that could,
Okay.
Right?
Yeah. All right, let's bring up another one here. I'm going to try this and see if this works. Okay, I could play them with my face on the screen. I can only do it with one person on the screen, though, so you could get my reaction. Maybe this might be better.
Okay, I didn't know there's a time limit. Sorry, man.
God! Thank God the voicemail cut you off. You mean there's more to that one topic? Good God, Senior Nerd.
Okay, I will keep this short. Let me just continue with the Paige Jenkins.
Oh, my God.
This is pretty much Patty Jenkins confirming that Wonder Woman 3 is dead. I never walked away. I was open to considering anything as of me. It was my understanding that there was nothing I could do to move anything forward at this time. DC is obviously buried in changes they are having to make. So I understand these decisions are difficult right now. So you got Gal Gadot, who basically lied.
I don't want to say she's a liar. She's a lovely lady. I'm sure she was confused.
There is a full thing, and then this was said. Then there's
oh my
backlash
God,
of 103 not happening.
Is he?
It's pretty much confirmed that there's no 103 with Paige Jenkins and Gal Gadot. So.
Oh no, someone else is.
It's over.
Someone else is calling this time.
Crazy Joe, we like you. We're your friends. You're acting crazy. Stop it. Otherwise, you start believing other people's stuff like the world's flat and
I say people thinking Gal Gadot coming back are just in the same category as the other things the Snyder Cut's gonna. I think they're both possible, but I think highly unlikely. Okay.
What if Gunn brought her back as the mother of Wonder Woman?
That
the
would
new
be
Wonder
great.
Woman?
I would love that.
Athena or whatever that was.
That would be amazing,
you
Sean.
know.
I think that would be great. I think they should consider Gal for something else, but maybe they think she's just not that great of an actress. I think she did great as Wonder Woman, but
what if they had Henry Cavill as Jor-El?
I don't think he would do that. I don't think he would.
And the Fortress of Solitude, just like his.
That would go against his image,
like
though.
His head.
He's still very built man, and I don't think they want to have him as a fatherly figure. That would go against his
I guess you're right.
A-list image of an action star as a father so far. He's not Russell Crowe or the other who was the dad in Man of Steel, Kevin Costner.
Yeah.
Not in that stage of his career yet. Okay, I'm gonna put you on the big screen for this one, Sean. Unless it's 3 minutes, then I'll take you off.
Okay.
All right, here we go.
And now if I could be serious for 1 minute.
This is Senior Nerd again.
To the person who blocked me on Max's channel, both of my YouTube accounts, my senior nerd account and my other YouTube account, stop it.
Did that happen?
Unblock me.
I think
and let me
fix it. Yeah, I forgot to
talk in the chat, because what you're doing is preventing me to have a conversation with my friends.
Okay.
That's what you're doing. Whoever's the mod, whoever, I don't care who it is.
I will take over.
I don't care about you.
All right.
All I care is be able to communicate with my friends.
All right.
And be part of the conversation.
Oh, that's a nice plea.
You are preventing that, and that's not right.
Now you have to call in.
Max is my friend.
Oh,
RJ is my friend.
That's a stretch.
Voltaire.
Voltaire, are you his friend?
Crazy.
Hey, sure.
No, I'm just kidding. I like you.
Joe. Anthony. CG.
Okay, we get it. He's going to list everyone. I'm cutting him off there. Okay, so I will say this, Senior Nerd. I will work on getting you unblocked. I don't know how it happened. But no, they will passionate plea to the voicemail. I that's pretty far. You've gone to great lengths. I will look at it. Okay, so anything else we want to cover? I don't think the other one came in yet. Let me see. Hold on. Oh, there is one more. It's someone different. Someone different. All right, let me make. All right, let me see how to do this. I got to be careful with this because I don't want to show anyone's phone number. Okay, now I could do it. Okay, I'll play this last one here and then we'll end the show. Get your final thoughts ready for Sean. Give a round of applause to Sean. Go subscribe to Sean.
What's up, Max? How you doing?
It's our favorite Cal.
Yep. Say hi to Voltaire.
Hey,
Let
bud.
you know about your boy in the Cybertruck. How you feel? I told you about that guy a while back.
Elon.
But anyway, Max, I wanted to tell you, man, I was watching that Captain America 4 trailer, and there's a scene where Cap flies down. He flies down. And if you pause that real quick and you zoom in, you will see that Mackey's eyes are cross-eyed through the visor. And that whole thing, it threw me out. It took me out of it.
Yeah.
It looks weird.
Cross-eyed.
It makes me think that this whole entire movie is going to suck because of that one scene.
Cross-eyed.
That 2-second scene that I freeze frame.
With the cross.
Seeing his eyes through that, I knew right then this movie was terrible.
He's being sarcastic.
I just want to know your thoughts. I already know it. I ain't even seen it yet. I know it's going to suck because of that one scene.
Yeah.
I know it's terrible.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, I'm just so let down. Can you not? I just want your thoughts on, what do you think, man? I mean, that just turns off everything. Terrible.
Yeah.
You did see that they fixed his leg though in the trailer, like from one trailer to the next, when he does the superhero land.
Yeah.
And the wings come up like this. And he's in the white suit from the TV series, and his leg is jetted out like really awkward. And then they like CGI'd his leg in a different position. And it wasn't a different take. You can see it's a CGI leg, but it's so quick.
I don't want to make fun of people that have lazy eyes or cross-eyed. That's not cool. But I don't want.
I never noticed that about Anthony Mackie. He doesn't have
No,
a
I'm not going to see Captain America now. Thank you. It's going to save me the money. Forget it. Rhea and Enosh, they're all going to go see. I'm just going to sit that out. Sorry. Thank
I
you.
want to say, Cal, I heard Cal on your show talking about David Lynch films. I'd love to be on a show really getting into a deep dive with Cal about David Lynch. He's very passionate and he knows a lot about them like I do. So if you ever want to do that, Cal, let me know.
And my friend Jeff Goodwin worked on, he did all the special effects on the one David Lynch movie, the with the ear, Blue Velvet.
Blue Velvet.
Okay.
Yeah.
Really? So if I did an interview with him on my channel. If you want to check that out, he talks all about Blue Velvet, talks all about and he has the ear, he holds the ear up because he still has the ear.
Wow, so he really worked closely with Lynch then. Wow.
Oh, he gave him really his big break.
Wow.
And he
drop that in the chat if you could, Sean. That would be I think some people might be timely.
I am going to end the show though, because if I end it a few minutes before 2 hours, I could get the AI to generate some clips for my channel. So go check out Sean, go check out that interview. Thank you everyone for watching the mic drop. I promise I will give the $20 next week. It's just we had a special guest and we had breaking news that we needed to cover. So I really appreciate Sean being here. We'd love to have you back. It was a great show. Donovan,
thank
where
you.
are you, Donovan? I was waiting for Donovan. Okay, here is the video to check out. And Voltaire, if you would be so kind to end it for us.
All right, everybody. Good night. Okay, in these uncertain times, you can always come to the mic drop for pleasure and just to forget about everything. And good night and good luck, everyone.
Oh, I wasn't gonna do it.